Hey guys, it's Raquel, and today we are going to be talking about obsessions. I was talking to my friend Maddie the other day. Hi, Maddie. I thought that I could share my little story with you about how I've learned to overcome my obsessions in a healthy way without doing all the nonsense of, oh, just stop thinking about it. Oh, just distract yourself. Oh, just stop. If you have dealt with obsessions yourself, then you know how nonsensical that whole shebang actually is. So today I'm gonna share with you what I did and give you a little simple exercise. Spoiler alert, your obsessions may be trying to help you instead of harming you. So a couple of years back, I became obsessed with the show The Walking Dead. I didn't know exactly what it was about it. I just could not stop binge watching it on Netflix. And then later on I became even more obsessed with one of the characters in the show. And then I became even more obsessed with the actor who was playing the character. It was pretty ridiculous. So a little while later, I realized that the show was actually helping me feel better. I felt some kind of relief when I watched it. I realized that it was reflecting back to me my past and also my current situation. And it was helping me understand it. This show is a, post-apocalyptical setting, and it's all about survival. And the characters actually take turns going through like post-traumatic stress symptoms. And back then, I was going through the same thing, and it helped me realize, oh, that's what's happening to me. This is exactly what I'm going through as well. So just realizing that already helped to take some of the embarrassment and the guilt off. I was now giving myself permission to, okay, I'm going to fully go out on binge watching The Walking Dead on Netflix. In order to really learn everything that it has to teach me, I really need to stop, the self-abuse going on around it. So all the guilt and all the shame, I really have to cut way back on that. Ultimately, what I learned was that there were two concepts at play here. The first concept was that this is a mirror reality. Everything that is in me internally will reflect itself externally. The more compassion that I send to myself, for example, then the more compassion that I have for other people. So if that is the case, if my external reality is just a reflection of my internal reality, then number two, if there are any aspects of myself that I have disowned or rejected or denied about myself or suppressed about myself, they will get buried in me, and the universe will keep bringing those things up for me to pay attention to. Basically, my obsession was reflecting back to me the buried aspects of myself that were ready to be embraced back by my conscious self. And so what I did after that was just really simple. I just took pen and paper and I actually just wrote down of the qualities that I perceived in both the actor and the character, and the things that both of them reminded me of. Regardless of whether they were positive or negative, or good or bad, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter what my judgmental voice was saying about the qualities. I just wrote them down, trying to be as neutral as possible. I actually have the list that I wrote down. Now keep in mind that my list is pretty long. So all of those things I had actually suppressed about myself. Regardless of whether they were positive or negative, at some point in time, some event made me think that it was better to suppress those things for the sake of survival. The more qualities of the list that I started embracing, then the less obsessed that I became with the actor. And pretty soon, he was just another actor. And the other thing is that it didn't even take for me to embrace all of the qualities on the list and be totally perfect for me to stop being obsessed with the character and feel better. To this day, I'm still working on embracing some of the aspects on this list, but it didn't take perfection to overcome my obsession. So today I invite you to do a little exercise, if you like, to overcome your obsession, and that is to just take pen and paper and write down the qualities yourself, and don't pay attention to whether or not there are good qualities or bad qualities. Doesn't matter. Anything that has been suppressed needs to be embraced back by yourself, and that is why the obsession is coming up for you. So once you have your list nicely written down, I invite you to ask yourself, do I honestly own, love, and embrace the part of me that is fill in the blank? The other thing that you can do is just open a dialogue with yourself and ask yourself, what exactly does this make me feel? And what exactly about it makes me feel this way? I want you to pay special attention to the part of you that is very resistant to embracing these aspects of yourself. So when I first did this, like when I asked myself, am I embracing these qualities? My answer was no. There was a part of me that was convinced that it meant danger, and self-preservation says, do not embrace these qualities. That is the first part of you that needs your compassion. Send compassion to the part of you that is totally resistant to the idea of embracing these aspects back to yourself. It's gonna be really hard to try and embrace those things if you're feeling judgment towards them. So for me to embrace the part of me that was outspoken, for example, I needed to send compassion to myself to decrease the resistance and all the arguments that I have about being outspoken, because I have previous evidence saying that it's not a good thing to be outspoken. But the fact that I have run into trouble before for being outspoken when I was a kid or an adult doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. All in all, you are not sad or pathetic to be obsessed over someone or something, no matter how much guilt or shame you feel about it. As usual, if you agree with this message, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can comment below. Take care of yourself. Stop resisting yourself. You have all the answers that you're ever going to need.